Taking a look at a tweet from Vini Jr earlier today. Today, I want to apologise to all the Madridistas for my reaction when I was substituted in the Clásico. Just as I've already done in person during today's training, I also want to apologise again to my teammates, the club and the president. Sometimes passions get the better of me because I always want to win and help my team. My competitive character stems from the love I feel for this club and everything it represents. I promise to keep fighting every second for the good of Real Madrid, as I have done since the first day. Nico, thoughts on his tweet?
Great apology, except I feel like it was missing one thing after that.
What was that, Nico?
I also want to apologize again to my teammates, the club, and the president. I feel like my manager was missing.
Is there anybody else to apologize? Going through the checklist? No, I think we got it.
It's just from a PR perspective. Just put in the manager. He probably did apologize to the manager. They talked about it in training, like he said. I would want to assume this was talked about between Xabi Alonso and Vini. I don't want to read too much into this because there's so much happening behind doors, but I know that the greater world of media will be reading much more into this.
Nico, I don't want to be overly cynical, but you said from a PR perspective, Vinny's not sitting on his couch tweeting that himself. I think every word is deliberate. I think it's deliberate to not mention the manager. And again, that was translated from Spanish. Maybe
no,
I'm assuming.
I read it in Spanish.
I'm assuming that
it's the same thing.
It's pretty close to Perez, and I know that he wouldn't put out that statement without mentioning Perez or apologizing to him. I feel pretty confident that wasn't an oversight, that wasn't a mistake. I think that's deliberate.
But when he says club, you don't think that means that all the coaching staff?
Yeah, but then he goes and says
went
the
very
teammates,
specific.
the club.
Nico, I think that if Xabi Alonso were to get upset at this, he can say, no, I said it to the club. Like, it's one of those, like, passive-aggressive ones where it's like, no, yeah, you were included in the club. When in it's, for me, I think that's clear. Again, there's not one person helping with it. There are a team of people helping these superstars.
This is really well crafted. And the thing is that the most disrespected person, I think, in that whole tantrum was the manager.
Absolutely.
Like, if you had to do
that's why I think it's
list,
deliberate.
like a ranking of most disrespected people from Vinny's tantrum, it was the manager.
Yeah. As you said, we don't know what's happened between him and Xabi Alonso behind the scenes, right? And yes, Xabi Alonso was the most disrespected person.
Ew.
I will never condone what Vinny did. I will never condone. This is probably the apology with a couple cuss words that are in there. There was a ChatGPT response reading that. As Vinny
but it's okay. But it was well crafted, except the manager. I don't care. I don't care if he even did it to ChatGPT. I care more about what Tom is saying, that it was well crafted, it was intentionally crafted, and someone was omitted intentionally.
Yeah, and I want to reserve judgment from what we see after this apology, because looking at pictures in training, there's pictures of him and Xabi Alonso, and there is not this tension-filled presence, and maybe it's for the cameras.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if that was.
And it's not this tension-filled. There is tension between Vinny and Xabi Alonso. We see that the blood was boiling. This reaction was always going to happen, and that doesn't excuse Vinny from his reaction. I'm not saying that. But this reaction was coming the moment he decided to sub him. And now we're going to find out a lot about Xabi Alonso and what direction he wants to go, because this is his team. Right. This is Xabi Alonso's team. When he's been making substitutions, he's sending a clear message to the rest of the team using Vinny as an example that this is my team and you're going to go by my rules. And it's paying dividends.
Ancelotti missed that a little bit, right? Towards the latter half, and kind of Madridismo welcomed this in the sense that Xabi Alonso needed to have a stronger hold on this team. Nobody likes getting subbed off, especially when you're really good, especially when you're a star player, right? I understand Vini's reaction. I don't support it, right? If you're as good as Vini, if you're going to get subbed off, obviously it's going to irk you, especially once your status in the team has kind of dropped with a new manager that has come in. We'll see in the next couple of games where the relationship lies. I would be shocked if he doesn't punish him. Or at least just start him on the bench for the next game and maybe not even play him. Who knows, right? That's what I would do. If I was a manager trying to stamp my authority onto a dressing room and use this as an example, I would kind of do that. But maybe, like, have that subtlety as to not leave him off of a team sheet to kind of make the media focus more on the issue at hand and rather just have him on the bench and not use him, perhaps. Xabi Alonso's a smart guy. It feels like when you sit in that seat at Real Madrid, you kind of need to brush off controversy. Ancelotti did it a lot. You know who was the best at it? Zidane. Marca and AS and the radio companies were all stirring with all these controversies, and they would go into the press conferences and ask him, and he'd be like, yeah, well, of course, whatever. He'd laugh about it. He'd literally chuckle and just toss it to the side. And I feel like the way that Xabi Alonso, he's learned a little bit those manners to kind of move beyond this, even if Vini has kind of subtly not.
I'm excited to see what sort of manager Xabi Alonso becomes because of this situation. Because you get credibility by beating Barcelona. You get even bigger credibility as a Madrid manager in how you manage the egos. His biggest job this season isn't going to be just winning matches. It's going to be about how he managed Vinicius Jr. Because they need Vini. I said the other day, they need Vini to be the team that I think Madrid fans think they can be. The Champions League contenders, the La Liga champions, right? The team that looks like they're a class above Barcelona right now. How he manages Vini Jr., how he responds with this is going to dictate a lot of how the next second third of the season goes.
If he would have used ChatGPT, I think ChatGPT would have suggested to throw Xabi Alonso to the ground.
to throw the manager in there.
ChatGPT is really nice.
You're missing somebody.